Hey guys, welcome to another 31 Horror Toys in 31 Days review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Marvel Legends zombie figure. And this guy came in just a 4-pack, I believe, with Wolfman and the Frankenstein's monster and Dracula. So, he's technically missing 4 accessories, but at the same time he is a complete figure, so let's take a quick look at him. Let's take a look at the sculpt and paint. One thing I will point out for the engineering though is his head got a little wobbly. Not sure what's up with that. Okay, so as for the sculpt of the torso, I think it looks pretty good. It looks like it's got an emaciated look to it. If you take off his jacket a bit, you can see that. It's got all sorts of grotesque, wrinkly, rotten flesh. And you can tell that it's been black wash in there perhaps, and then it's had a dry brushing of this more lighter skin, which helps give it that decayed look. And then the jacket here that he's wearing is just sculpted rubber, and you could take it off if you want, although I think it would look a little odd having these sleeves and no jacket. So, you know, whatever you want. It's got all sorts of tattered parts to it, little holes in there, holes in the back, holes everywhere. This guy's definitely not the zombie that you're used to in like a Dawn of the Dead movie or what have you. This just looks more like a classic type of zombie where it's a lot more rotted, perhaps from a voodoo thing. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the zombie that was in the Marvel comics isn't like technically a zombie that we know and love. So, but you can always use this figure as that sort of zombie, so no complaints. I like the sculpt of his forearm here. I find it weird that they made the peg the color of the shirt here, then it just sort of digs into here. I wish they just like made the shirt come down a little bit farther here and sculpted it. Then we wouldn't have this weird peg or joint that sticks out. And then at his shoulders, you can see he's got little wrinkles put into there, but then it's a black part right there. I'm not sure why it has to be black. I'm guessing the base for this figure was black, and then they just painted over it. So maybe that's it. Okay. His hair looks like a wig. I'm going to say this like right off. It just doesn't look right. It almost looks like a bowl haircut with long hair. It's just very odd. And it could be ripped off if you want it to. It's a separate piece. Not a fan of the way that was sculpted. He's got all these little wrinkled parts here. This elbow joint is like massive for some reason, just because it's got fabric on it, I guess. And there's his legs here. He's got the nice feetsies, which his feet look kind of big too. Proportionately, I don't think they should be that large. He's got his toesies. Yep. And his other toesies, little nails in there. And man, that's just gross looking. I wish they put a little more ripped up flesh or bite marks on him, make him look more like a zombie, but again, I don't think that's the sort of zombie that they were going for. Okay, so yeah, basically he's okay in the sculpt and paint department, not amazing, I can say that. But let's talk about articulation. That's something that Marvel Legends always does well. Let's start with the head. He can do a full 360 here. He can look up about that much, and he can look down about that much. That's quite a bit. And no head pivot. That's bit of a downer, but then he's got an extra articulation joint in his neck, which is at the base here, so he's articulated there and there, which is completely unneeded. I'm not sure why they did that, but at that point they were putting in articulation just for articulation's sake. So Toy Biz, you know, they weren't the greatest, but they did start out the whole craze of articulated figures. Ooh. Let's start with the shoulders now. Full 360, he can move up that much to about a right angle to his body, and then at the bicep there's another swivel. They can go 360. He's got a double jointed elbow, which is a bit tight. That's about as much as you can get out of it. Then he's got a wrist articulation, which is further down the wrist than the this joint, up and down joint. So that goes 360, and then this joint moves back and forth that much. Then he's got some finger articulation, so he can make a fist or he can make an open hand. And it's about the same on the other side as well. Maybe, yeah, just about the same there. And then the articulation. So that's all about the same. Then at the waist, he's got a full 360 spin. He can kick out his legs like this at the hips. And then he can kick forward like that and like that. And then he's got another swivel point there on the thigh. Then he's got double jointed knees. At the wrist, ankles, he can move forward that much and that much. No ankle pivot, mind you, so you can't really do that split thing too well. Then at the toes, he can bend upward about that much, like maybe a little. But he can go downward quite a bit. I'm not sure what you would need that for. Maybe if he's standing on the edge of a shelf. Just doesn't seem like it's really needed articulation. But whatever, to each his own. So that is the zombie figure. Tell me what you guys think. I am, I'm impartial with him. I can like him and I can not like him in some ways. He's okay to have in your collection, though. If you've got a bunch of Marvel Legends figures, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. By the way, tell me what you think, and I will see you guys in the next review. Peace.